Real-time review, or RTR, is a queue where stand-up wireless auditors assess orders submitted by our field agents via the enrollment compliance platform called CGM. Only orders from California, Texas, Washington, and New York will be required to be audited by the real-time review auditors. Once reviewed and approved by real-time review, the orders will be ready to go through the national verifier for approval. Now, all other states' orders will go directly to the national verifier. Once orders are being reviewed by the national verifier for approval, we would have to contact national verifier for order statuses or order information. Now, let's talk about what happens when an order is submitted for those states mentioned. When an order is submitted, it enters a real-time review queue. An auditor will pick up the order and will begin to review it. You, as the agent, will see the order status as pending audit. The auditor will be reviewing the order to verify accuracy and validity of the following: agent selfie, demographic information, any documentation provided, signatures, and of course, making sure the order number is in all images. If everything is correct, we'll approve the order. If errors were found, corrections will be needed. Now, if corrections are needed, the status of the order will change to need info, and you will need to click on retake data. Auditors will leave a detailed note explaining what needs to be corrected. And once those corrections are made, the auditor will review those corrections and again will either approve or deny the order. Now, this can cause possible order delays. On your screen, you will see the types of possible errors an order can have causing delays. Auditors will either soft deny the order or hard deny the order, depending on the type of error found. Soft denials will allow you 3 attempts to correct the errors, while hard denials will cause the order to be canceled, and a new order will need to be started. Now, some reasons for soft denials can be blurry images, missing order numbers, expired or unacceptable IDs, any information mismatch, incorrect or misspelled, or even signature errors. Well, some hard denial reasons can be things like not making the appropriate corrections, choosing the wrong program type, any duplicate applications that are found, or if the applicant is outside the federally recognized tribal lands for tribal orders. Excuse me. As mentioned, detailed correction messages will be provided to you, so please be sure to read those thoroughly and correct what needs to be corrected. I'll go over some order requirements and best practices to follow. This will help minimize order review delays, which in return will increase your overall order submissions. Now, before you're ready to begin any order, not just those that go through the real-time review queue, you will need to make sure you have the following. That includes a customer's full name, the customer's date of birth, the customer's last 4 of Social Security number, the customer's valid email address, customer's proof of identification, address, and eligibility. And you also need to make sure that you have location services enabled. If you initiate an order and do not have location services enabled, you will not be able to proceed with that order. Let's begin with our agent signatures best practices. Now, the system will require an agent signature in order to proceed past the first step. There are several ways for your agent signature to be accepted. You can write your full first and last name, as long as it is legible and spelled correctly. Initials are also acceptable as long as they match your first name initial and your last name initial. Now, if you attempt an actual signature, it must clearly show the first initial of the first and last name. Stand-up wireless auditors will not accept signatures where names are misspelled, initials do not match, or you attempted to sign with lines, dots, or X's. Agent signatures can easily be avoided. I have listed some of the most common denial reasons, which you will see on your screen. Now, keep in mind, if the signature is not acceptable, the auditor will soft deny the order and provide a note with a reason for the denial. The agent will have the opportunity to rewrite the signature and resubmit the order. Let's move on to image capture requirements. Now, you will be required to submit an image of the following based on the customer's state requirements. So for California and Texas, we do require customers' proof of eligibility. California, Texas, and New York, proof of identification is required. And lastly, for California, Texas, New York, and Washington, proof of address is required. It is very important that all images submitted are clear, legible, and include the CGM order number. Okay, moving on to agent selfie. On the agent selfie tab, agents are required to capture a selfie at random when submitting an order, usually once per 10 orders taken. The requirements for agent selfie images are as follows. So the image must include a full face, front view, natural expression, and opened eyes. Uploading images from your device gallery or photos folders will not be allowed. You will want to avoid shadows on your face or on your background. And finally, do not wear sunglasses or hats or anything that obstructs your face. The auditors will compare the selfie image to the previous images submitted to verify it is not a screenshot or a gallery image. Now, if the image is not acceptable, the auditor will soft deny the order and provide a note with a reason for that denial, which you will have the opportunity to retake that image. Please note that if it is determined that the person in the image is not the agent listed on the order will be hard denied. And on your screen, you can see some of the most common denial reasons for selfie images. Moving on to address and image capture. Proof of address is required in California, Texas, New York, and Washington. Address documents that can be used as proof are as follows. A driver's license, a utility bill, or even a government assistance program document will be accepted. You can see the remaining of the documents that are acceptable on your screen. All documents must include the customer's full name, must be clear and legible, include the CGM order number, and the address must match the address entered in the Lifeline application. For Texas, if an award letter is provided, the proof of address listed on the benefit award letter must match the address entered on the enrollment or the Lifeline application. Now, if you selected Washington, you will get this screen in the eligibility step. All tribal orders will also go through the real-time review queue. The auditor will verify the address proof only for the states where there is tribal enrollment, which in this case, it will be Washington. Please do keep in mind, Washington is only accepting qualifying low-income customers residing on tribal lands for the Lifeline tribal benefits. So if you select yes on the question, only the programs available for tribal lands will populate. If it is not located on federally recognized tribal lands, the order will hard deny and you will have to start a new order, making sure you choose no on the previous screen. If you select yes on the question from the previous slide, CGM will validate that the residential address of the enrollment is situated on federally recognized tribal lands. If it is determined that the address is located on federally recognized tribal lands, CGM will allow you to continue. If it is not located on federally recognized tribal lands, the order will hard deny, and you will have to start a new order, making sure you choose no on the screen we just mentioned. Now, here are some address denials. They can be due to name mismatch, incorrect proof submitted, or even unclear images. So please be sure to review any documentation submitted and ensure that the order number is always visible. Now we have reached the end of the webinar, but before we end for today, I want to share our contact information and hours of operation. You will see them listed on your screen, so feel free to take a screenshot if you need to.